In this problem, we need to convert 50 ounces to number of pounds. Now, some of the students might be able to see whether we should do multiplication or division, or whether it's 50 divided by 16 or 16 divided by 50. But some students might have trouble seeing that. So here we're going to use ratio to help us to do this. We can also use proportion to help us see what operation we should do. So first of all, 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So we can set up a multiplication of two fractions. So the first method is to multiply two fractions. And how do we come up with these two fractions? What we call them ratios. And we could, first of all, take whatever it's given, 50 ounces. And then to make a fraction, we can put 1 as the denominator. Now, the second fraction will come from this conversion relation here. Now we know 1 pound. We're going to use the one side as our numerator, the other side as our denominator. But it's very important which one will be our denominator, because our final goal is to get rid of the ounces and to turn to turn ounces to pounds. So if we want to cancel these ounces, we want to put the right hand side, the one with the ounces in the denominator. So I'm gonna put the right hand side 16 ounces as our denominator, and then the other one will be the numerator. So 1 pound will be our numerator. The reason I put 16 ounces as our denominator is because when we can reduce ounces and ounces. So ounce divided by ounce is sort of like they cancel out. So now we can multiply straight across, as you can see here. I actually already have it typed here, so we can go ahead and look at this. So we have 15 ounces as the numerator and 1 as denominator, and then 1 pound as numerator and 16 ounces as denominator. So notice that the ounces will cancel ounces. So now we can multiply straight across. So 50 times 1 gives us 50, and the pound, we just keep it. The bottom 1 times 16 gives us 16, because the ounces and this unit has already been canceled. And so now, as you can see, since we canceled the ounces, but we introduced the pounds, so we successfully converted ounces to pounds. And 50 pounds divided by 16, so you can do long division, or you can reduce this fraction if you want, divide by 2, both top and bottom by 2, so we get 25 over 8. And then we can do long division, 25 divided by 8 to get 3.125. So 8 goes into 25 3 times, and 3 times 8 is 24, and subtraction gives us 1. And we add a decimal point after 25 and also in the answer. And add a 0, bring it down. So we got 8 goes into 10 one time. So we have 8 here. And then we subtract again to get 2, and then add another 0, bring it down. 8 goes into 20 2 times, and finally we have 4 and then add another 0, bring down 0, and 8 goes into 40 exactly 5 times. So that's how I got 3.125. And notice this method is called a conversion factor, and we use the multiplication of two fractions. And notice the operation we're using here is times. If you want to use proportion, you will set up, and remember the proportion is an equation with two fractions on both. And notice that the difference here, we have an equal sign between the two fractions, not multiplication. So, but the way we set up will also be different. So first of all, we can actually put 1 pound and 16 ounces any way you like, and either they're on the same side, or either we line them up vertically or line them up horizontally. So the other way you could do is, if you want to put 1 pound on the left, top left, and then you can put 16 ounces on the top right. But now when we put 50 ounces, we have to make sure we line up. So which is different, totally different from multiplication. Multiplication, you don't line it up. You will put one, if one on the top, you have to put one on the bottom. But for proportion, if you have answers as in the denominator, you also have to put answers in the denominator on the right side. So now the top, how many pounds will correspond to 50 ounces? It's going to be our unknown, so we're going to use variable x. So once we set up these pounds and the pounds cancel out, ounces and ounces cancel out, so we can get a proportion like this, and then we can do cross multiply, which give us 1 times 50 is 50, 16 times x is 16x, and then we divide both sides by 16. As you can see, it's still going to be the same as what we did here. Take 50 divided by 16, which will give us the same answer. So either of these methods can tell us that we're supposed to do 50 divided by 16. So it's not a multiplication, it's not 16 divided by 50. And some of the students, again, might be able to see this directly without using any of these methods. But if you have trouble, always try these.